So, welcome to tonight's topic of breast cancer more than a conqueror. This is what I call my friend Sherry, more than a conqueror, because she conquered breast cancer. And we'll hear about her story quickly and how that happened. But I met Sherry on the other side of her breast cancer fight, but her fight wasn't over. And she was surviving, but she wasn't thriving. So we are going to listen and we are going to hear and we are going to take notes. And if you have questions, if you're on Facebook, you can put it in the comments, or on YouTube, you can put it in the comments, or you can direct message us on Facebook. And we would love to help you and give you a wellness consult. Anyone, whoever invited you to this class, whoever shared this class with you, we would love to get you a protocol to do the all-in 90-day or whatever it takes to get you well. But the thing I love about my friend Sherry that I'm about to introduce to you is she is an all-in girl. And honey, that's my language, all in. Because if you want big results, you got to take big action steps. And Sherry is brave. She is fearless. She fought her way through some trauma. And Sherry Lindsay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us tonight and giving hope to so many. Sherry is from Kentucky, and I met her on the phone, and I just thank God for her. She's been in my life for over a year now, and I want her to take it away. Sherry, tell us about your journey with breast cancer. Before I met you, what all did that entail? What did that look like? How did survival and your faith story, what did that look like? Can you share that with us?
Yes, I would love to. Thank you for inviting me to be able to speak and do this class and give you my testimony. At the end of 2016, December 2016, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so the whole year of 2017 was doing chemo, multiple surgeries, just like you said, trauma to my body. And I do like to say that's exactly what happened. This is my testimony, and this is how I say it. And I don't mean it to take anything away, because we say, we hear people say, I'm a breast cancer survivor. Well, actually, what I was doing for the 2 and 3 years after that was just barely surviving. And I don't like that word breast cancer survivor, because I felt like I just came out barely survived. But I am an overcomer. I am a conqueror. And I'm so glad that you called me that, because that is what I call myself. I'm a breast cancer overcomer and conqueror. I conquered it. And I don't want to be just like barely surviving, like literally crashing in the sea and coming up on the shore as a survivor. I want to be healed and whole and thriving, and I want my life to be just I want it to bring glory to God. And so, but anyway, I had taken chemo, and of course I lost all my hair, as some people saw in the picture. I had 3 actual surgeries. 2 of them were major surgeries, reconstruction and things like that. And listen, your body goes through so much trauma. So after all that, and listen, through all that, I actually kept working. I mean, I couldn't work as much. I did miss a lot of work. I missed a lot of church. I missed a lot of life, but I just kept pushing through. And I just thought, hey, I'm going to just bounce right back and be who I was before this started. But that didn't happen. And I am so thankful that God, he used doctors and to help heal me. However, the treatments left me with side effects. And I mean, I was just barely getting up in the mornings. I was just barely pushing through everything. I was just barely getting to work and being able, I couldn't even remember. I had worked at my government job at that point for 18 years. done the same work every day, but I would sit in front of my computer and I couldn't even remember, because it was a very complex job. I couldn't even remember the processes. I couldn't remember how to do things. I was making a lot of mistakes. I couldn't remember names. I couldn't remember. My husband had to take over paying the bills because the chemo goes through your whole body. It doesn't just go to the cancer cells. It goes through your whole body. So it kills out the bad cells, but it also damages your good cells. So that's how it was left. And I just began to think, I mean, like I was putting on my makeup and clothes, going to church, going to work, and just putting on my face to try to make the world think I'm okay inside. You know, I'm just happy to be alive. But I don't want to be just happy to be alive. I want to be living life abundant. And that's what Jesus promised us, was life abundant. So, I mean, like I had pain all through my body. At the point I had reached out to you for help, I had tried everything out there. And I was on like 5 or 6 medicines. Okay. Every day I had pain in my muscles, my joints, my bones. I had brain fog, couldn't sleep. The chemo had put me straight into menopause. So I had all those hormonal issues going on. I was gaining weight, couldn't lose it, didn't feel like exercise. I couldn't exercise. I could barely just do what I was doing. You know, and it was just like, I began to think, you know, is this how life is going to be for me now? I mean, am I supposed to just accept that this is me? I mean, you know, I don't have the joy. I'm not enjoying my life. I just feel of a suffering. And, you know, I was having to take medicine for chronic pain in my joints and my muscles and just all these things, my thyroid. And then I just began to pray. I'm like, Lord, I know that when you began a good work in someone, you are faithful to complete it, and you'll be faithful to complete what you have started in my body. You have started a healing in my body, but I want it all. I want wholeness. And I said, please just show me the way. I don't know where to turn. I've tried everything. That's when I came across one of your videos. I reached out to you and you said, hey, give me 90 days and you know, let's go all in. Give me 90 days.
Hold on. Let's stop a second. I
Okay.
want to take you to that moment. So when you called me, how long had you been, you know, cancer free once you'd called me? And then I want to stop at that moment, that mile marker moment, that milestone of that phone call. And I want to just maybe talk about sound of your voice and things like that. So how long was it?
It had been about 2.5 years.
Okay.
From completion, you know.
So from diagnosis to you.
From the diagnosis to the point I talked to you.
Yeah.
That was probably about 3 years.
Okay. So when you called that day, I remember where I was sitting in front of my computer in my office, and you began to express to me everything that you just said. You said, I don't feel, you know, I know God didn't heal me to leave me like this. I feel like there's more for me. And, you know, I started to explain some of the things that we'll go over here in a minute. Just, you know, some of the things I'm like, you know, if you're willing to go all in, and, you know, I really feel like that there's hope for you, that, you know, if you'll just give me 90 days to go all in. And you were like, I'm all in, because you said, I don't feel like a human. Those were your words. You're like, I barely feel like a woman because of all the hormonal damage to your body and your hormones, and you're thrown into menopause. You said, I feel so heavy in my body, like I can barely move. I definitely can't exercise yet, or, you know, I don't feel like it. There's no way. So we went over had many questions, but I just felt I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I've never said this to you, but like, you were so pitiful and desperate, and you're not a pitiful person, but I mean, I felt so so sorry for you, but at the same time, Sherry, I want to say, and this is only God and experience with doTERRA oils and the things that they do to support people's bodies to begin to heal. It's not these oils that actually do things. It's what they do to support your body to heal. But I had so much, I was so excited for you because I knew that you were at the right place. So I said, will you give me 90 days? And so we did a 30-day plan. And then I said, check back in 30. And then we're going to do phase 2, and then we'll do phase 3. So why don't you tell us what phase 1 looked like and like what started happening to your body as we did phase 1. And I'll bring out what you, I'll go get it. I mean, it's right here while you're talking. Go ahead, start talking.
I felt hopeless at that point that I called you because, and I hate to even admit that I was feeling that way, but I had to be honest. I'm like, I'm gonna have to start being honest. I feel hopeless. This is not how I want to be. And I knew this is not how God wanted me to be. And so you said, give me the first 30 days. And so what I started out with was the doTERRA Cleanse and Restore Kit, because yes, what you're holding up right now, I wanted to get this toxicity out of my body because I felt heavy. That's the only way I know how to describe it. I would feel like my legs and things just felt like lead because it was just toxic. And there were, I believe, our cells can hold on to those chemicals. And so the first 30 days, we started the cleanse. Within 5 or 6 days, I remember waking up and it was just like, I mean, I felt like it was in a dream. I mean, I just woke up and I just raised up and I just felt, I was beginning to feel different. I felt so different that I jumped up. I remember texting you and saying, hey, for the first time in a long time, I feel like a human again. And I told my husband, I was like, Brian, I'm like, I just starting to feel light. I'm starting to feel just so the heaviness is lifting, it's leaving. And I feel good. And he was like, okay, where is my wife? And what have you done with her, or whoever you are? So,
and here's the thing. So now that we've done this and we know, what happened to you in those first days, the first 10 days, we work on the liver, right? We work on restoring the liver. And so we know that when you went through your chemo and your everything that you went through, that your liver took on an incredible amount of toxicity. That's just what you said, right? Because that's your filter, that's your main filter organ, and it's really takes the biggest hit. So for the first 10 days, because we just finished 10 days, we're on this cleanse right now. Again, because we do it 3 times a year. But we took these 2 products right here. And what happened was what felt heavy was your liver was sluggish. Your liver, your pancreas, all that stuff was sluggish. And in those 10 days, when you're taking your lifelong vitality vitamins, which is the core and the foundation of this, it's not really a cleanse, it's a restoration of your body. So we activated your liver and your liver started getting support. And when your liver started getting cleaner and supported, it started reacting immediately, and all your organs were so happy doing the happy dance. Right? Isn't that what happened? You even said that colors even look different to you.
Yeah.
And that is a physical thing. That is physically thing with your liver. If you, think about people who have a toxic liver. What happens to their eyes? They're yellow, right? They have a film over them. Like, seriously, I mean, now that we're backtracking this, it's so cool what happened.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, a lot of people think I'm exaggerating, but literally it was just like the sun was shining again in my life. I could hear birds singing. It was like I knew something was taking place in my body. And listen, I want to just say, God, he works in different ways. He was working through this. I prayed, and this is the path that he took me on to support my body naturally. And so do you want me to talk about the next phase of that? Okay. So what happened after that, I went through that 30-day cleanse, and then we began to work on one health issue at a time. And I started the doTERRA Women's Kit, which I love, 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 love. And I never want to be without, because one thing, going through menopause, I couldn't take any estrogen, but I needed to support my bones. I needed to support my hormones. And that women's kit has 3 products. The bone nutrient has the phytoestrogen, which helps get all the fake stuff out of our body from our environment.
Yeah.
And then the Claricalm, which just really helps support our hormones. I have to tell you, I mean, I was on 2 blood pressure medicines. I was on a thyroid medicine. I was on some other medicines. I was on stomach medicines. I was on pain, Motrin and things like that. Yes, this is the women's kit. And I am happy to say I am off all of that stuff, that prescription stuff, because when I started supporting my body naturally every single day and being consistent with it, I mean, I was all in. I decided, if I'm going to do this, I'm going all in. I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to do it exactly as you taught me. And so the vitamins and the women's kit have become a part of my lifestyle. Like, I have a lot of people who will reach out to me sometimes with, just certain health issues. But the thing is, our essential oils are amazing, but it has to be a lifestyle that you do on purpose, consistent. Like, I learned pretty quick, like, we can get really busy, and I am real busy. I'm busy in my church. I'm busy with my family. I've got grandkids now. But if I do not make time to take my vitamins and my supplements, before you know it, the day is gone and I'm in the bed. The next day, the day is gone. So I had to learn to say, hey guys, I have to stop. Give me a minute here and take my vitamins, and it has really paid off, because I have done all of this under a doctor's care, and I get my blood work regularly, sometimes 3 months, sometimes 6 months. And I have some that I do it yearly. And I make sure that they know exactly what I'm doing. And they're like amazed. They're like, Sherry, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Keep doing it, because, I mean, they're amazed at how my cholesterol has dropped over 100 points, that I'm not on blood pressure medicines anymore. And I'm not even on thyroid. And in the beginning, they said, you'll never be able to get off of that. And now they're like, you don't need to take that anymore. So I'm doing it under a doctor's care, but I am consistent with it. It's not like, oh, I think one night I'm going to take my vitamins, or I'm going to take my supplements, and then not think about it for 2 or 3 days. No, I don't want to go back to who I was before.
Right. And the thing is too, I mean, doTERRA is a cut above any other essential oil company. I was recently at Northern Kentucky Oncology Hospital, Christ Hospital, right? No, that's not Christ. What was it? Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, I think so. And the oncology center has a doTERRA wing, and they have doTERRA essential oils and these products in the pharmacy at the hospital, the oncology hospital. And I believe it's like the top oncology hospital in Kentucky. So this is not, an isolated case where Sherry's the only person. Actually, somebody who was a patient of the doctor who basically started and implemented this whole hospital. It was his idea, because it's all brand new. Had a patient that was doing so much better than his other patients while she was going through her chemo. And he's one of the top oncologists in the country. And he was just always asking her, like you, Sherry, but this is while she was going through it, like, what is different about you? And she kept saying, it's my oils. And he's like, yeah, right. Because I met the doctor, I know him. And he's like, yeah, right. And he said it just kept her results just kept exceeding anybody else's that were people that were at the same stage, right, going through the same treatments. And finally, she's like, when are you going to realize I'm telling you the truth? And it's the oils that are making the difference in the doTERRA products that are supporting my body to be able to endure all of this, trauma to my body. And that's why I'm excelling. And so finally he said, come tell me more. So she did a presentation, and now there's a doTERRA wing of the hospital. So
Wow.
you just know, I mean, your story is amazing, Sherry. And I mean, I'm so thankful to God that we crossed paths and I had studied and learned about these things and already knew about the oncology. I mean, had several people that I've helped through this, that I had confidence that this would work, because you said to me, I'm desperate. Like, I don't know if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'll do, but I am going all in. So the last 30 days, we worked on getting the toxins out of your house, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
And we worked on replacing. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because some people don't realize, and this is the thing. I want to go here. Okay. I want to go to a weird place. We are people who believe in the power of prayer to heal. 100%, right? Sherry?
100%.
100%. We believe that you can get in the prayer line and you can be healed. We've done it. We've experienced it. But if you go through the prayer line and the Lord heals you of something, and you go right back to your bad lifestyle, what caused you to have that sickness in the first place. God's not obligated to keep you in perpetual healing. If you're eating horrible food, let's just say you're an alcoholic and you go back to drinking. I mean, it's the same thing. But we have been miseducated, uneducated, wrongly educated, misinformed. And we don't realize that some of the things that we do on the daily basis, like I just posted something today about Bath and Body Works and all the 15 pages of toxins. They said that even some of the things that for room sprays and perfumes are dangerous to breathe. My daughter worked there for a minute at the Bath and Body Works, and they gave them hazard pay because of the toxins that they were exposed to. They make more at that store than any store in the mall, just as salespeople, because of the hazard pay, because people can't stand to work in that environment. And yet me, with my sweet little girls, every birthday, I didn't know any better, right? Every birthday, every event, or their friends' birthdays, we would go in there and buy bags and bags of all their favorites. My daughter had a big box under her bed with a lid with all the different fragrances and all the lotions. And when you put that on your skin, you might as well just eat it, because it's going right into your bloodstream. So let's talk about how you started replacing some of the toxins, and how this is why God honored what you did too, Sherry. I want to commend you, because you did go all in, and honey, you went to war. You're like, I'm going to get better. And when you saw these things worked, you went all in with the gusto. And that's why you are, and I want you to tell like how you've lost weight and all the things, but let's talk about your third 90-day or third 30-day.
Yeah, the next phase. So I really didn't know how to start detoxing my home. So I just listened to you and learned. And so what I did is I just began to do it gradually, because, we have so many products in our cleaning products in our home, and so many things we wash our hair with things. So what I started doing is, as I got rid of one thing, or even if it wasn't empty, I would just say, hey, I'm going to try the doTERRA hand soap, or I'm going to try the doTERRA we've got the dishwasher pods now, and we've got the dish soap. There are different ones of those. Just try one at a time and just say, I'm going to replace one at a time. We've got shampoos, we've got deodorants. That was the first time I ever tried a deodorant that was natural. And you know what? After what I've been through with breast cancer, I don't want this stuff with the aluminum in it anymore. Yeah. So I just began, it's like nobody can learn it all at once. So I just started doing baby steps. Like, hey, I want to learn about the the deodorants. I want to learn about the shampoos. I want to learn about the soaps. I want to learn about the facial cleansers, and I learned how to diffuse and not be burning candles. The other day, my husband said, I'm going to go buy some candles. And I just looked at him and I was like, no, we don't do that anymore. He was like, why? I was like, haven't you noticed? I was like, it was toxins in it. He goes, who told you that? I said, I have learned, I've studied. And I'm like, no. So it's like one thing at a time, baby steps. And before you know it, you've replaced everything. I learned how to use wool balls for my dryer sheets and use my essential oils on those dryer balls. I never even heard of those. And I'm embarrassed about that until you taught it.
I didn't know either. I had no idea. When people started talking about that, I was like, balls? What are they talking about? Balls in the dryer? And then when I saw them, I thought, well, those are just tennis balls. Well, I'll just go buy some tennis balls at the store and put some oils. I was so clueless. So yeah, we all start somewhere. And like 5 minutes ago, I didn't know any of this stuff either, but I, out of a health crisis, began to learn and educate. I love the fact, Sherry, that you have educated yourself and you have learned not only for yourself, but people that you love, your family, your friends. You've now said, look, there's a better way, and you have shown them the way. And you now not only are, I like to say, healed people heal people, and you have become a healer, and it's become a mission for you to help your loved ones, even nurse them through the health crisis that we all had in this last season that everybody in the world was going through. You were able to help your parents get through it very successfully, even at their later ages, or that are, elderly. And it's changed your life.
It has changed my life. And now I want to help everybody I know, especially during this crisis that we've been through in our world. I've been taking oil samples and oil products to all my friends and family who have gone through this thing, and because I know it works. I know it works. It helps support our immune system. It helps support our body. Listen, 2 weeks ago, it was time for me to have my bone density scan again. And, 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with the stages of osteopenia, which is the stage before osteoporosis. And I always say I was diagnosed with. Never, 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 never say I have. I never say I have a disease, a disorder, or anything. I will not take ownership of it. Okay. So I was diagnosed with osteopenia, and I knew then I had to really work on my bones. And that's when I really, at the same time, dove into that women's kit, just had my new bone density scan. And they were like, your bones have improved. I mean, like, listen, that is shouting ground, people. That is shouting ground.
Shouting ground. Listen, and tell us about some of your
little by little. God,
tell us about your blood work.
My blood work, it's amazing. Like, my doctors are so impressed, and so they're happy. They're like, whatever you keep doing, like, I don't have to. My thyroid is great. My cholesterol just kept coming down. My blood pressure is good. All of my the blood work that shows your levels of vitamin D and all your vitamins, they're like, it's amazing. You're doing great. And before I would have to take prescription vitamin D, but now with the LLV, which is our lifelong vitality, the vitamins, and they come in the cleanse kit. They're part of the cleanse kit. Listen, that, and listen, we have to change our lifestyle. When I asked God to make me completely whole and to heal me completely, you're right. I had to look at how I was eating. I had to look at what was in my house, what hormone disruptors were in my house. I had to learn about that. Yeah. And I had to make it a lifestyle. How can I support my health? Because the Bible says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I mean, who can even grasp that? We cannot even grasp that. So, yeah. I mean, like, when we take care of our bodies, we take care of it and support it, it will work like the brilliant, magnificent, creation machine that God has designed himself.
Absolutely. It is absolutely. And everything in heaven and earth, spiritual warfare, the battle of the ages is for this body, because this body can house the glory of God. And so there's so much more to our bodies than just what happens physically. But if our physical body is impaired, we're not given ultimate glory to God, because
Right.
we're sick and we can't fulfill the destiny. Now, I just love the fact too, Sherry, and I know I'm bragging on you, but there's a lot to brag about. Let me tell you, the thing that I love to provide for people is education. And you dove headfirst into our 8-week course of continuing education. This is where you learned all about hormone disruptors, what to take out of your house, how to transition from the toxic to the healthy and the natural and the healing. And so you took full advantage of those 8 weeks of learning of our classes, which are online for anybody who decides to join doTERRA with us. They have access to that on demand. Now, it wasn't on demand when you had to be on there every Thursday night, but now it's on demand and it's available for anyone who wants to learn. So when we tell you, yes, there's a learning curve, but we also provide all the learning and the education. So we have courses, we even have advanced courses, so many things for you if this is the route that you are interested in going. So just as a way to close up. So Sherry, thank you so much for sharing your story and your hope, because we are not dope dealers. We're what?
Hope dealers.
We are hope dealers.
Yes.
There is a hope. So many times, people, even if they survive a health crisis, many people have survived the Rona and are still struggling months and months later with symptoms and side effects from medications. And there's hope for you too. We're not just saying, the breast cancer word is one of the most fearful things that you can hear from a doctor. And Sherry, just your bravery, your faith, everything has just been such a great example to so many of us. And I just want to thank you for sharing your story and sharing your hope. And I mean, there's so much more that we could talk about, and we do. Sherry, that we have a class on hormones that we taught a few weeks ago. It's on Jada Minton Oil School. It's going to be on the YouTube channel. So there are many, many more classes if you want to learn more, and you can always ask us to. So is there anything else you want to say in closing, Sherry?
No, to God be the glory. I do appreciate that you said that we can get our continuing education on the oils, because, the Lord says that, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And I mean, I'm like, Lord, give me a revelation. Give me a revelation. Revelation doesn't have to always be about something prophetic. I mean, give me a revelation about my health, because I'm telling you, it is His will for us to be in health and wholeness above all things, even as our soul prospers. So I'm like, Lord, I'm like, we're supposed to, I want to be a God carrier. This is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So I want to take care of my temple. And He is teaching me little by little by little by little every day on this health journey. And I just thank you so much for being my coach and helping me and being somebody who reaches out to help heal people. I mean, that's really what we're called to do. Jesus said, "You heal the sick."
Yeah, He did. And you know what? When I tell you, I was the last person that would have said an oil could help heal the sick, but it's in the word, right? What happens when He says, when one is sick among you, call the elders of the church, anoint that one with oil, pray the prayer of faith, and we skip that part, or we think that's going to church and getting the olive oil from Israel that we all had on our altar in that metal can. But you know what? It's more than that. In the temple, they used frankincense and myrrh. And in the month of November, I'm going to be teaching an extended series about healing oils and oils of the Magi, oils of the resurrection, the oils in the Bible. So that's coming in November on Tuesday nights at 9. So I just want to thank every single person who's on here. And oh, Sherry, we forgot to talk about a couple things. You don't have to say how much, but you started losing weight. Is that right? Tell me when the weight loss started, because a lot of people are just here for the weight loss story.
Yeah. I was thinking like I could never lose weight, but what happened is when I got my body in alignment and and so started supporting my body and my organs and my hormones through the doTERRA oils and the supplements, it just started falling off.
Yeah.
And then you know what happened when you see weight coming off, you feel like going to the gym. And
Yes.
so I'm able to exercise now.
Awesome. Yes. And you've been diligently exercising. And I wanted to say too, you have such a glow and just such a healthy glow about you that you didn't have before. And listen, it's all about that glow up. And you can use the most expensive creams in the world, but if your body's not, your cells aren't having proper nutrition, and your cells are not regenerating young and healthy, if they're coming back as they die and they resurrect, that's what cells do. They're coming back sickly and older. That's what it doesn't. You don't age on your skin. You age at the cellular level, and it shows up on your skin. So, you can do all the plastic surgery in the world, and you can tell the people that have had plastic surgery and they're all pulled real tight, but they still got all those little wrinkles and they got little bumps and they don't glow. They just look like plastic, right?
Right.
There is a way to age beautifully. And, I really believe that it's God's way to age beautifully and naturally, that we don't have to sell our soul to the plastic surgeon and look like some kind of freak,
Yeah. Inner beauty doesn't mean just your personality. It's talking about your cells.
Yes, it is. Oh, I love that. I think we're gonna have to do an inner beauty
Yes.
#sales class.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for joining us. And if you have any questions about anything we talked about, please contact us. We're available for you. You can contact us on Facebook, Instagram, and whoever invited you to this class or shared this class with you, get with them and we will, they can, or with my help, if somebody on my team, we can design a program for you, whether it's a 30-day, a 90-day program. If you're interested in the cleanse, this is a 30-day cleanse from doTERRA. It's based on lifelong vitality vitamins and all these things. You drink lemon in your water. We didn't really talk about this a lot, but we do have other videos that go in depth into our cleanse, and we do it as a group 3 times a year. So we just thank you so much for joining us. And we just want to say a blessing over you. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. And we just pray the shalom of the Lord over you and your family. Be blessed. Shalom.